are. We're on. We're on. Here we are.
All right.
Captain Keith.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Let's see. And our, oh man, and now good afternoon to even our viewers on the West Coast. Now that it's noon over there too.
That's right.
Special guest today.
Yes, we do.
So we have Estephanie Herrera coming at us live from the business office down in MarineMax, Sarasota, and she is almost undisputedly the best in the business when it comes to, anything and everything, whether it's finance or insurance.
Thank you, Captain Nick. Those are sweet words of you. I'm very happy to join you guys today. Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
So for those of you guys tuning in, looks like we have a good amount of viewers right off the bat here, which is nice. Don't forget, drop your questions in the comments. We get them, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We see them all here. And pick our brains. Pick Estephanie's brain. And there's a lot to learn from Estephanie. And also Keith and I are here too. If you guys have any random boating questions, even if it's not finance related, put them in the comments. You know where to find us here. Facebook, MarineMax Leisure Boating. Instagram at help me out here, at MarineMax Online.
Right.
And Twitter at MarineMax, and YouTube is also MarineMax Online. So pretty easy to find us, get a hold of us. And if you have any questions that you might not be able to, for those of you tuning in that aren't live, go ahead and drop them in there. We read them all every week before we come back on, and love to get them answered for you too.
So, hey, Nick, we had a question left over from last week. They were asking about why the surge in outboard powered boats as opposed to the IOs and stuff, even on these bigger cruisers and stuff like that. You want to touch on that?
Yeah, so it's funny. There's a couple reasons that you'll see more of the outboards and stuff. And when you go to pretty much any store in Florida, with the exception of Orlando, it's going to be primarily under 40 foot, primarily outboard powered. And I saw a picture from our Lake of the Ozarks location that we got Gabe there tuning in from Kenya. Our Lake of the Ozarks location, it's all inboard boats, like all those SPXs, all those SLXs and stuff, all inboard boats. And it's crazy because, for one, in saltwater, we generally gravitate more towards the saltwater engines, getting away from the manifolds and the risers and stuff, being able to trim up at the sandbar, you name it. But I think a lot of it can also be, besides it being a regional thing, it can also be chalked up to just the technology in outboards. I mean, we talk about the Mercury outboards. We hit on Yamaha a little bit last week too. Just how far outboard engines have came, from the four-stroke technology. Now we've even got outboards with joystick and stuff. It's the way to go. However, I do see a lot of folks, a lot of buyers will make the argument where, they'll say, hey, I don't like the way an outboard looks. I like to have the full deck back there. I get that. There is a little bit of give and take, but 9 times out of 10, especially in saltwater, the outboard is just the way to go. And not to mention on those sea rays, especially like a 19-foot SPX, where on a 19-foot boat, you're strapped for storage as it is. You're trying to find space to put every life jacket. And what they do, when you put that outboard engine on the back of the boat, where that engine used to be in the engine room, you pop that hatch, it's all storage now, and you've got all the storage in the world. So I think that's just one of the pros that outweigh the cons on those outboard powered boats.
Yeah, I mean, and something else, this happened to me. It's probably about a month ago or so. We had clients that bought, I forget what boat it was, but it had outboards. And we were talking about stuff, and they had taken a Coast Guard safety course. And so they're like, well, where's the blower? Where's the blower? We heard about how important the blower is. And so once they realized that it wasn't an IO or an inboard boat, so they had taken that course and they got so scared of the possibility of an explosion with gas being down in there with the inboard boat running in there. And had we realized that wasn't a concern with these outboard powered boats, we would have done this years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it still scares me a little bit even, remembering to put the blower on and stuff.
So, any of you that's got, the inboards or the IOs, make sure you run your blowers 4 minutes before you start them up, open the engine hatches up, air it out and, check for leaks and stuff. But definitely outboard. And like you said, it's regional too, So, but saltwater, it's definitely better.
Yeah, for sure. And, I get where people come from on both sides. But, I mean, when you even started, and Stephanie, when you started, I mean, it was all inboards, even in the saltwater, wasn't it?
Yeah, all inboards. I mean, outboards I hardly see inboards now, put it that way.
Yeah. Got
That's kind of fun. That's kind of funny. Say so, like way back when you started here, Stephanie. So I mean, she's super young here. Look at her, right? How long you been in this business? How long have you worked for MarineMax?
Yeah. Well, I would love to tell you a little bit about myself. I
Let's-
have been with MarineMax for, it's going to be 16 years soon, so 15 and a
wow.
half years. Yeah. I started at MarineMax in Tampa,
Yep.
just looking for a job, trying to get me through college, work the front desk part-time, 20 hours a week. And about 3 years after that, I transferred to MarineMax Clearwater, the flagship store where Captain Keith is. And I love working with Captain Keith. I mean, we did a lot of women on water classes together.
Yep.
We planned a lot of getaways, whether it was a local event or a trip all the way down to the Bahamas. Captain Keith actually taught me how to drive my first boat. we needed we needed a little bit of assistance bringing boats back from a local Tampa Bay boat show. So he's the one who basically taught me how to fall in love with boating. And then after working in the MarineMax Clearwater location for till 2014, I then was offered an opportunity to transfer as a business manager to South Florida, Miami and Miami Beach stores. I was their business manager for 5 years and learned a complete different type of boating down there. Love my MarineMax family down there and miss them as well. And just a few months ago, I transferred back to the West Coast, which I am also very happy about. And now I am the business manager at MarineMax Sarasota.
That's
Well, welcome
awesome. So
Thank you.
started out part-time, just working the front desk, then into getaways, then title work and F&I and all that stuff. And, you know, marching right on up. I mean, the opportunities here are boundless, right?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it really, I learned a lot through a lot of the waves that MarineMax has been through. I think it has a lot to do with having people that guide you in the right direction, that give you the opportunity, just like you, Captain Keith. I owe my successes to a lot of MarineMax individuals. And even through the hard times, I mean, I remember having to be outside installing boat names in the heat or wearing many hats, you know, when a lot of people, we didn't have the stuff that we needed at times, whether it was opening new locations, etc. So I love my MarineMax family. It's definitely where I started and where I plan to retire one day.
I feel the same way. So I've been with MarineMax for a few years now, and I still remember the first time I drove through the gates at MarineMax St. Pete. You know, everybody knows MarineMax. Everybody, they see it everywhere, larger than life. And then when you see it, it's almost a little intimidating. Do you remember the first time that you pulled up to MarineMax?
Yes, I did. I do. I mean, I remember pulling up to the MarineMax in Tampa, and there's a little joke within our MarineMax boating family because that store was located on I-4, and there's like a little boat hanging from
It's still there, right?
Yeah, so I remember always passing it and seeing it, and I'm like, man. And then I started working there, and I'll never forget. And then transferring to the Clearwater location, and it's just, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't go to the store and I'm like, wow, do I really work here? I mean, and it's just, it's a beauty. It's therapeutic. It's just, we're very lucky to be working in this lifestyle that we have to offer to our boaters. That's for sure.
Yeah, it is definitely larger than life. You know, it's sometimes just to kind of grasp, you know, what we're doing. But looks like we got a good question for the meat and potatoes right off the bat. So we got Dave Maynard here that says, can you cover typical finance rates for 5, 10, 15 years for someone with excellent credit and down payment requirements? So one thing that I think that you can really speak to, Stephanie, is when a lot of folks will think, you know, they'll see a boat and it might be $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. It's intimidating because, you know, you're thinking car, you're thinking loans that are 5, 6, 7 years, and realistically with boats, it could be a little bit more affordable than you might think. So what does that look like, to answer Dave's question there on rates and terms and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, obviously, when you're considering to buy a boat, one of the first questions that come up is how you're going to pay for it. And a part of my responsibilities is helping you with those options. So, just to give you an overview of what our terms look like, you can finance 10, 12, 15, or 20 years, all the way up to 20 years. There are shorter terms available. So, if you decide you would like to go ahead and finance between 3 to 5 years, we can also help you with those options as well. Most of our lenders do not have a prepayment penalty, which is a benefit of financing with one of MarineMax's lenders. And with excellent credit, rates right now are in the high fours, low fives, which is considered excellent for recreational financing. Obviously, with a thorough review of each buyer's credit, we'll be able to provide basically firm terms. But what I can tell you, in addition to the questions that Mr. Maynard asked, is typically your down payment is going to be around 20%. In some cases, you can do 10 to 15%, but again, every case is different. And you can also that's basically financing 80% of the purchase price. And you can also, for example, like right now, just with the pandemic that we're in, it's like we're literally running out of boats, and a lot of people are selling their old boats and trading into bigger vessels. And I think that if you have a boat that you're trading in, you can also use that as, towards your down payment. That is, if the trade has equity in it.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things I like about having us right now is you walk into MarineMax, okay? You deal with the sales guy. You go, you find the right boat. You walk through the process. It's a real consulting-like process. And then at the end of the process, there's Captain Keith. He's smiling. He's got a smile on his face. Delivery day, and you get to have some fun. And you're pretty much going to handle everything between Keith and I. So what does that process look like in the business office?
A part of my responsibility is to schedule the new boat owner's captain's orientation. At MarineMax, we don't just give you a boat and say goodbye. We want to make sure that you know everything about your vessel, that you understand it, that if you don't, we're going to teach you how to do it. And that is when we ask you a series of questions and we're able to determine what your initial orientation is going to look like. Before turning it over to one of our awesome captains like the two of you. As far as the details that go into the official orientation, if I can turn it over to one of you guys and you can elaborate a little bit on it.
Sure. So when you schedule an orientation for delivery day, right, then the service team's going to have the boat prepped and ready. Your boat's going to have what we call your go boating kit on there. So, I mean, all your safety gear, from throw cushions to life jackets, your flares, your fenders, your fire extinguishers, anchor, all that stuff's going to be on the boat. And we typically have it laid out to where we can go through and you can see that it's all there. And then we'll have the clients go and put the gear away. But I typically will just I'll start at the bow and we open every hatch, open every seat, go through everything, flip every light on, and just work our way back through the boat. And so I'm the advocate with the client. So we're going through, and any deficiencies, anything we find while we're still here at the store, maybe the anchor light didn't come on or something, right? We can take care of that and fix it right here before the client goes and takes it home. So once we go through the boat, then we'll go through the electronics and, make sure they're comfortable with that. Then we'll crank up, go out, run around the bay, put everything into practice and tie it all together, whether it's, anchoring the boat, using your windlass. I delivered a 325 Conquest this morning, and that's what we did. We ran out. It's pouring down rain right here right now. I mean, it's storming, but we were out there. We had the radar going, and you could see the rain storms, between the Howard Franklin and the Gandy Bridge, which way it's going and how we were running around and kind of dodging the storms. So it's like putting it in actual practice right there on the delivery day, just kind of dodging the rainstorms and stuff. But and then if you're really green and you get the boat home and something's not making sense, you can contact Stephanie or your business office or everybody that I give a delivery to, they've got my card, they've got my information. They can call me, and if appropriate, we'll schedule another time and go back out to make sure you're comfortable with your boat. I mean, it doesn't do anybody any good to be intimidated by it or scared, afraid to use it.
Well, it's like when you were talking about that blower story earlier, Keith. I mean, they're like, man, I would have done this a lot earlier. There's nothing worse than when you got people that are afraid to use their boat, and I think that MarineMax, and especially you, do a great job of just eliminating that right off the bat. Just like your main goal is to make sure you're building confidence. Something that we talk about a lot is the continuous education, whether that's through intro to boating, women on water, getaways, and it doesn't stop on delivery day either. It's like learning to walk. It's an ongoing process.
Well, on that, Debbie Dan, I know you didn't read it because you were talking on there, but Debbie Daniels just chimed in. As a novice, MarineMax made my experience so amazing. Captain Nick spent many hours helping me to build confidence. Captain Keith's classes were also helpful. It just jumped on me. I didn't buy a boat. I joined a family of great people. So
thanks, Brad. We miss you. We miss you down here. And when you come back to Florida, you got your MarineMax family waiting for you.
Hey, Stephanie, you got a fan there, Charlie Nelson.
Hi, Charlie. Thank you for tuning in.
It looks like you got a few fans joining in.
Yeah. Hey, there was another one up here earlier, Stephanie, about I think finance rates. Is it better for a new boat or a used boat, or is there a difference?
There is a difference. It does depend on the year of the vessel, but what I want to let our customers that are considering buying boats in the near future know is that we are able to offer any kind of financing for any type of vessel. So if you just give us an opportunity to try, we'll be able to let you know what your terms may look like. With a pre-owned vessel, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a higher rate because, again, it's not just based on the boat, whether new or used. It's also based on your credit profile. It's even based off of where the vessel is going to live. So there's a lot of moving parts that it is my job to get everything together and make sense for you. All you have to do is pick the boat of your dreams, and we handle it all from there. And, I do want to mention when Captain Keith was speaking, there are things that are going to happen that are out of your control. Vessels these days can basically drive themselves. Innovation has gone so far. And because of that, from the business office, we do also offer extended protection options for your vessel. And the extended protection options that we do offer are from the number one manufacturer, or it's called Brunswick. So they basically are the best and the closest to factory warranty that you can get. So when we do present these options to you, we like to offer our customers the best of the best, not only from our boat brands, but also when we're obtaining an insurance quote for you. We only go through A+ graded companies, or when we're offering engine protection or protection for your accessories on your boat. And another thing too is when Captain Keith was speaking, he was also elaborating a little bit on if what you need to do, or how do you determine if a customer is in need of a second lesson, or third, or fifth, or seventh. And I think that it's very important to mention publicly and remind our boating family that with MarineMax, ongoing training is included with your purchase. So again, we're not just going to give you a boat and say goodbye and figure it out yourself. We have people like Captain Nick and Captain Keith at every location who are going to help you feel comfortable to the fullest on your boat. And I as a female, I'm a huge advocate for women on water. And one of my favorite things that MarineMax has to offer is our Women on Water classes, which is free to all the ladies, no men allowed, only the captain. And we teach you, how to remain safe on the water. We give you that confidence that you need to be able to captain the boat on your own, or help, your captain in case of an emergency. One of my best memories with MarineMax is helping Captain Keith coordinate Women on Water classes, and then half of the class is in a classroom setting, and the other half is actually on a vessel, and it's just amazing just to see Captain Keith step back and let the ladies take the helm and talk back and forth as many times as they needed to until they got it. So very, very empowering.
Yeah. It is special. It's fun.
You do a good job, and that's I mean, I learned a lot in those classes too. You know, when I've been into a couple of them with you, I've liked to pick up.
You were allowed in a women on water class?
I went to one passing.
I had an assistant.
I had to sit in the back though and not talk. So we got a couple other questions pouring in here. We'll get to those in a second. But Stephanie, when we hear the business office, what is the umbrella of what you do? So we've talked a little bit about financing, a little bit about warranty and stuff like that. But I mean, you do a lot more than that. Obviously, you're scheduling captain orientations, but even insurance and stuff like that. What's the grand scope of what a day in your life looks like?
So when our customers come in to buy a boat, it all starts with the moment that they walk in through the doors. You're lost. You're like, okay, I do want to go boating with my family, but I'm not exactly sure what boat it is that is going to fit our needs. And we basically get you paired up with one of our sales representatives who are experts in any brand or any type of boat that you are interested in. Or let's say you have somebody who knows more about fishing boats versus the pleasure boat that your wife may want versus a fishing boat. We all work together as a team to help you determine the right boat for you and your family and your loved ones. At that time, we go over the purchasing process for you. So my job is, it's basically, I'm like the middle person. I'm going to represent you in every department within MarineMax. So not only the purchase of the boat, but service, parts, coordinating your delivery with one of our awesome captains. And I just want to make sure that the customers feel like the whole process is going to go as smoothly as possible for every single one of them. So you're not going to have to go out there and get your own insurance quotes. I'm going to help you be able to secure some quotes for you so that you can review them and see the coverages that's best for you. I'm going to help you with financing options. I'm also going to title the vessel for you or document it with the Coast Guard. Again, all of the paperwork is done here at store level, and it's just super easy. And we want this to always be a very pleasurable experience, so that when you're already nervous because you're coming to take delivery of your vessel and you're afraid because, oh my gosh, I don't know how to drive it. It gives you that peace of mind that you don't have to worry about everything else. And also on delivery day, we also make sure that along with the Coast Guard kit that Captain Keith elaborated a little bit on, we're also going to make sure that you have the proper documentation on board so that you navigate legally while we finalize your vessel registration with the state of Florida.
And how does that work exactly? So you mentioned this is a question I get a lot. You mentioned Coast Guard documentation versus titling through the state. What are the differences? What are the pros and cons? Where do you usually see people choose between the two?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a really good question because there are a lot of people that don't know the difference between the two. And what I can tell you is when a vessel is titled within the state of Florida, it means that you intend on using the vessel within Florida waters only. When a vessel is documented with the Coast Guard, one of the requirements is, yes, you do have to be a U.S. citizen to document the boat with the Coast Guard. And it's basically like the title of the boat, but the vessel may be big enough to travel within international waters. So if you find yourself visiting the Bahamas a lot or going into outside of the United States, that is when you would document your boat with the Coast Guard. Lenders as well, sometimes they may require, because of the size of the vessel, they may require you to document the boat with the Coast Guard. And the fees it's not like you're going to be charged more for documenting the boat versus titling it. It's whatever is applicable to your boat, and we help you make that decision and determine what registration is best for your vessel.
Yeah, I think that's a popular question that we get a lot, and that explains it well. I mean, I didn't even know the difference until a few months ago.
Yeah, and with a documented boat, when a boat is titled with the state, you have the registration numbers on the outside of the vessel. You know, within our state, in the state of Florida, it starts with FL, and then it's four numbers and then 2 letters. When a boat is documented with the Coast Guard, you know, sometimes we have customers that say, I want my vessel documented with the Coast Guard because I don't want the registration numbers exposed on the outside of the boat. Because with a documented boat, those numbers actually get affixed somewhere inside of the vessel. And the only thing that you would have to show on the outside of the boat is your Florida decal, which is basically saying that, yes, my boat lives in the state of Florida, but I don't have registration numbers because I travel a lot with it internationally.
Very, very interesting. I didn't know that. Looks like we got Tim here with another great question. Are extended warranties transferable?
Yes, extended warranties are transferable. So a lot of our customers, especially our repeat boaters, when it's time for them to buy their next boat, whether it's because they want a bigger boat or their kids have gone out to college and they need to downsize, most of our customers always take advantage of the extended protection. And they know that when it's time to resell their trade or the boat that they're getting out of, it is transferable. So basically, when you have it out there for sale, whether it's trading it in within MarineMax or trying to sell it on your own, it 100% gives it a higher resale value because of the extra protection that it carries.
Yeah. So when you transfer it, that's a little bit different than like a lot of manufacturer warranties, huh?
Yeah, I mean, personally, with manufacturer's warranty, there is a gray area whether what is transferable and what is not. So another reason why our boaters take advantage of the extended protection is because they don't have to worry about that. You know, okay, yeah, I do have factory warranty around my accessories for a year, but then my engine has 3. And then, okay, what is transferable, or is it transferable after this time? So instead of worrying about the different coverages that you may have on different components, you can take advantage of the extended protection, and you're going to have non-declining coverage, which is different from most manufacturers' warranty. And you're going to have that same coverage from the day that you take delivery of your boat all the way out to you can actually add extended protection to your vessel all the way up to 8 years. Right. And MarineMax has special programs where you may qualify to receive a year for free on certain extended protections.
Huh. It adds value and it's peace of mind, right? So you're getting that boat and you're turning the key and you're going to go, you know, not in the back of your mind, you're thinking, God, I hope this thing doesn't break down on me this weekend, or, you know.
Yeah. Or, yeah, I think my generator's covered for a year, you know, even though my engines are for 3, my generator's for a year. And, you know, you can have generator, all of your accessories, your fridge, your electronics, your motors, and even add coverage such as like wear, you know, when things start to not work properly because of use. You can have all of that within the same term, and then you don't have to worry about anything. And all you have to do is call your local service department, MarineMax service department, and we will help you process the claim for you.
There's a good statement right there from Raul Bermudez. So he said he purchased the extended warranty and helped him sell his Sea Ray, and then he also purchased it again for his current whaler. So there's a repeat customer, and then you got the value of what it's worth.
Oh yeah, I've even seen boats on brokerage. Like we had one a couple months ago that it was a little bit more pricey than the other ones on the market, but it had pretty much 7 years of transferable warranty on it. So the guy selling the boat, you know, got more money on the back end because the boat came with the warranty.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people tuning in. Jason from South Pasadena, that's around your area, Captain Nick.
Oh yeah, right around the corner. Skipping a hop jump.
We have Mr. Madison. Thank you so much for the shout out. Very sweet. I remember, oh my gosh, Mr. Madison, I remember our first getaway. That was so long ago. So happy to hear from you.
We got Clifford D'Amico on here as well.
Yeah.
Cliff,
Hi,
Brian
Cliff.
Hardy, Bob Deenan, bunch of people.
Got Brian. Brian's a great fan every week, always asking great questions. Got another one. Brian Drapp. Do I have to name my boat to register it? I was actually wondering that today.
So when a vessel is documented with the Coast Guard, you do have to have a name on the transom of the boat, along with a home port, which the home port is basically the city and state of where the vessel is going to live. Now, if you title the boat with the state of Florida, you can still name it. I think it's fun naming your boat. It makes it officially yours, but it is not required when the vessel is titled within the state. It is when the boat is documented with the Coast Guard.
And people ask
Great
all the
question,
time.
Brian.
They always ask. They say, "Am I allowed to name my boat something that's already been named?" How many boats have you delivered, Keith, that are named the Naughty Gal or the Real Something or the
Dulce Vida.
Carpe diem and seize
Yes.
the day.
or Andiamo?
Yes.
Aquaholic.
Yes, you can name the
Yeah,
boat.
there you go.
Even if the boat name is taken, you can definitely utilize the same name again. That's not a problem.
Got another two good questions down here. Tim, we'll get to another one of your questions in a minute, but I got a question for you, Stephanie. Got Abel Serrano. I'm in California, interested in a boat at a MarineMax dealer in Florida. Would you be able to help with financing? Thanks.
Of course. We'll definitely be able to help you with financing. I wonder if he's spoken to anybody at any MarineMax yet or have found a boat that he's interested in, because we can definitely guide him in the right direction. And if for some reason we're able to find somebody that it's more convenient to help him, Mr. Serrano, that's maybe closer to California, we'll also be able to coordinate that with you as well.
Nick's already looking him up in HubSpot.
Yeah, so maybe if he can maybe put an answer in the chat, like, exactly what vessel he's interested in. Maybe he found a boat that is in the state of Florida. And if we need to get it transported anywhere else, we're also happy to help with that as well. We do it all of the time.
Yeah, your one-stop shop. So before we get to some other questions here, Stephanie, I had a question for you that I get from a salesperson's perspective. We get a lot of folks that say, "Hey, I can pay for this boat cash. Don't like to have notes on things and stuff like that." Even when you can pay cash for a boat, what are some of the advantages of financing, one, period, and two, through MarineMax instead of an outside lender?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to finance a vessel, period. As we all know, it's not an investment. So it gives you an opportunity to save that cash for emergencies. Also, because MarineMax we're the largest boat dealer in the nation, we have excellent relationships with our lenders who provide us with unique terms for our customers. So that means we're guaranteed to provide you with the best financing terms, which again may include no prepayment penalties. So why put up the cash for a vessel now when, especially through everything that we're going through right now in our world, money is cheap. And you can finance it for a portion of your boat for a certain amount of time, save your cash for emergencies, and then pay it off early if you wish.
Makes sense. Let's see. Keith, you got any questions?
You're
How about
welcome,
Tim's
Mr.
question
Serrano.
there? Is there gap insurance on boats?
There used to be gap insurance, but now it's something that is offered, but we are not offering it at this time. But we do have a lot of cool, exciting things coming up. I know that there's going to be a maintenance plan coming up that we're going to be able to offer to our customers. So just stay tuned for that.
That's awesome. Can't wait to hear about that. Let's see. There's a good question I had here a little bit up from Tim. Let's see. Tim Babbage. Thanks for all the questions today. All right. I'm going to answer this one, guys. Why is the market so hot right now? Should I consider waiting? Don't wait. And a reason I'm going to say that is, and here's my 2 cents on the situation. We've been experiencing a lot of ordered boats, huh, Keith? Just boats that you'll see coming off the Whaler, the Sea Ray truck, and I mean, they are custom ordered. And what we're seeing a lot of manufacturers doing, yeah, the boat market's hot right now, especially the used boat market. I mean, I'm sure that, even on a private market, you see boats come up, you hit the refresh and they're gone just like that. And we get the question like, hey, I'm going to wait for it to cool down. One of the cool things that we're seeing on new boats is, there's been a little bit of a lack of in-person boat shows and stuff like that. So you're seeing a lot of manufacturers, allow us to offer some discounts on order boats. And I think it's pretty cool. You pick your boat and stuff like that. You order it, you see it a couple months later. So, I mean, I think it's a great time, especially here in Florida. You might get that ordered boat here and you still have a few months of boating left, that we have a general 12-month season. So I get where you're coming from, Tim, but place orders today and it might, it definitely would be worth your while. So the market is hot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So is our stock.
Brian asks, can I change the name of a used boat I am purchasing? Certainly, of course. I mean, it is your boat. You want to make it yours 100%, and you can change the boat name.
You need to christen it, though, huh, Keith?
Absolutely.
What's the rule on that?
So you got to kind of Google that. There's certain things. If it's a used boat and you're changing the name, technically there's like a whole ceremony to bless the old boat and thank you for being able to change the name and all that stuff. New boats, it's a little more straightforward. There's several different times, but if you do christen your boat, make sure you get the right champagne bottle. They make them that actually break really easy and they're in a bag. I don't want you going out there with a
bottle of Dom,
a real bottle of champagne and being out there beating on the boat, but christening ceremonies are fun.
Oh, I love them. I'd christen every boat if I could. I'll christen a 19 SPX the same way I'll christen an Aquila. They're all important.
Yes, they are.
One important thing to mention, I think, that from the business office is insurance. A lot of customers, when they first think about insuring their vessel, they think that they have to have a boating license in order to navigate within our waters. Can you guys answer that question? I mean, is a boating license required to use a boat here in the state of Florida?
You know this one pretty well, Keith.
Yes, we cover this quite a bit, but anybody born after January 1st, 1988 has to have a boater's license. You have to have a boater's ID card. If you stop by one of your local FWC offices, they'll have booklets there. That's the easiest way to do it. It's free. It's an open book test. I know everybody watching this is bright. So you're going to take an open book test. You're going to pass the course. So there's 75 questions in the back of the book. You bubble in the answer sheet. You mail it off to Tallahassee. They'll scan it, and they'll send you your Safe Boater's ID card. You can also go online and take the classes online, but it might cost, $50 or something like that. Those of you that are local here, around here, Clearwater, I've got the books here. So if you want to swing in and grab one for you or your kids or nieces, nephews, or whoever, stop on by and see me and say, hey, I saw you on the live boating tips, and and my kids need to get their boater's ID cards.
And also, when obtaining your insurance quote, there are several questions that we have to answer in order to guarantee the best premium for you. One of the questions is, have you ever taken any boating courses or safety courses in the past? And when you do say yes, you are offered a discount on your overall premium. So that, along with where the vessel is going to live, how many years of boating experience you may have, how many operators are going to be, on the vessel. All of that, it's basically a series of questions that we ask. We ask all of the right questions in order to provide you with the best quote possible. And when we do obtain that information, we go through our insurance agent, which is called Boater's Choice, and they are a marine-only insurance agent. So basically, they know exactly the coverage that is recommended to have, and they only go through A+ graded companies. So instead of you having to call 10 insurance companies and then have 10 quotes to compare it to, we're going to take care of that for you.
And you have different, boat insurance and stuff like that are, some might be a little bit more familiar with insuring a boat, like Boater's Choice, like you're talking about, they're marine only. So, there's going to be a lot less variables there.
Yeah, for sure. And a question that comes up a lot too, when I initially meet our new boat owner is, how much does insurance cost per year? And it actually turns out to be, in some cases, cheaper than your car insurance.
Wow.
So, yeah, just to give you, and again, it all depends on where the vessel is going to live, your boating history, how many operators, have you taken any safety courses in the past, how old you are, how is your driving record. So again, we make sure that when we're interviewing you, we ask all of the right questions. And I would estimate around 2% to 1.5% value of the boat per year.
Makes sense. Little less pricey than what you were thinking. Is that on new boats?
Well, again, it's not necessarily depends on the vessel. It's all a big package. So it depends on the boat, where you're keeping it, how you're keeping it. Is it going to be on a lift? Is it going to be afloat on the water behind your home? Is it going to be in an area where it's hurricane protected, at a marina, etc. But our quotes, typically in most cases, we always beat outside insurance companies. So it doesn't hurt just to let us get a quote for you, so that if you are exploring insurance on your own, you have something to compare it to.
I got it.
Yeah.
Learning a lot here, guys. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, guys, and I know that this is a lot of information. So for everybody tuning in, or anyone who may be able to replay this later, MarineMax has people just like me at every single one of their locations. So don't hesitate to log into MarineMax.com, enter your zip code. It would basically tell you where the closest MarineMax to you is. You can call them directly and ask to speak to the business manager, and they'll be able to answer any questions you may have, as well as elaborate a little bit more. Just like I mentioned, every customer, every purchase is different. So they're able to personalize your purchase package and answer any specific questions that you may have, according to your situation or the boat that you're looking for. But
Amanda,
we have a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah.
Amanda just joined us.
Ask away. I'm always happy to help any way that I can.
All right, we're gonna throw a curveball at you here, Stephanie. It looks like we have Landon DeGraff's friend asking a pretty complicated question. So let's see if he can stump you. If 3 people wanted to co-own a boat, one person had cash, the other who would need to finance, how would you go about doing that? Does anybody have any experience with this?
So basically, the correct answer to that question is, whoever is going to own the boat, whoever is going to use the vessel, has to be on the title of the vessel. And if one person is interested in financing and the other one isn't, I mean, both of them will also legally need to be named on the credit application as owners. So there's a lot of legalities that go into it. You don't want to run into a straw purchase or any illegal activity. So we want to make sure that, for example, if Captain Nick, you and I want to go in on a boat, but you're like, no, I want to pay cash. And I'm like, no, I want to finance. Like, we both would need to mutually agree to either pay cash or finance, so that we can title the boat appropriately.
Well, so much for stumping you.
It's okay, but we have customers. I mean, I've put 3-4 people on the title of a boat at once. So again, I mean, we're going to try to, based on your request, we're going to try to give you exactly what you're looking for. And if it's not something that we can make work, we're definitely going to be able to present you with other options that may be available to you and convenient for you to take advantage of.
Interesting. Well, thanks for that, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
Like we got so I noticed here on the side today, Keith, last week it would tell you which ones are coming from Facebook and which ones are coming from YouTube. But as I look at the screen below, I see that they're just putting it all in one here on our screen. So it looks like we got a YouTube comment saying, why order a boat when it takes 1 month? I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's just wanting to overcome this little inventory shortage we have going on now. Perfect world, perfect scenario. We just got a 25 outrage into MarineMax in St. Pete the other day, and that just happened to be the boat that this guy was looking for. It's awesome. You can take immediate delivery, but just the ordering a boat thing is it's another option that you have, to take advantage
Yeah,
of
you
the boat
can also think of it this way. I mean, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, you can also think of it this way. It gives you an opportunity to personalize the vessel to exactly how you want it to be. The colors, the cushions, and it will be worth the wait. I promise you. If you have to wait because you need to order a boat, I mean, I encourage you to call your local MarineMax dealer, because if you tell them exactly what you're looking for, and it may be you're on the website and you cannot find it, it doesn't mean that by calling they may be able to have a different answer for you. But again, if you do want to get out on the water and you want to go boating and the vessel that you're looking for is not readily available, we highly encourage you guys to order your vessels as soon as possible. This pandemic that we're going through right now, I mean, we're a lot of people are getting out on the water, and we want you to be one of those people. And yeah, our service departments may be taking a little bit longer to get the boat to you, or our local bank may take a little bit longer to give us a final credit decision. But just know that it takes a team, it takes a village to get you out on the water, and everybody is working endless hours, and everyone is working together and efficiently to get you out on the water as soon as possible.
Yeah. So like right now, I mean,
is inventory coming back for you guys, Keith? What's it look like at Clearwater?
So like right now, what's going on? I mean, if we've got the boat and all that stuff, but people are taking delivery, but maybe you're having a power pole put on your boat, right? But we can't get power poles right now. They're back ordered. I mean, they're just that busy and they're backed up and slow down. So, he's going to go ahead and take his boat. He's going to run around. He's going to use it for a week or two. When it comes in, then we're going to get it put on his boat. But our vendors, our suppliers and stuff are behind too. So, we're waiting on parts, but at the same time, we're trying to get you out on the water, as fast as we can. So, we can only deal with, what we've got. But there is still inventory out there. And if you are working with a sales guy, we get a sheet every day. There's an email that comes out when these guys come into work in the morning. Every boat that was taken in on trade throughout the country is there. So if you've been working with Nick and you're looking for a 35 outrage, a certain year and this and that, and he gets it and it comes in there, you got to be ready to go. Trust his judgment and say, look, I've got this boat, put a deposit on it now. Let's hold it. Let's look at it and let's figure it out. Because I'm telling you, you wait 5 minutes and it's going to be gone. You can sit down and go, okay, yep, let's do this. And, you get ready to go into the business office. All right, let's go close this. It's gone. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it's happened a lot, unfortunately. But one thing is our sales professionals, they actually may know of incoming inventory before anybody else does.
Yep.
So an example, here in MarineMax Sarasota, we had a customer who bought a boat from us just last month, and he noticed that it's not the right boat for him and his family. So he ordered a boat. So we have practically a brand new boat coming in on trade that our team knows about. And by you, as our customer, being in our database, they're going to know what boat you're looking for, and you may get that call before the boat even goes live online, and somebody else may be able to take it before you. So again, it's just even if you're not going to get on the water tomorrow, but you are considering buying a boat in the near future, it is definitely worth coming into our local offices, speaking to one of our sales representatives. I mean, stop by, meet me, meet your local business manager, say hello to the local captain. You also want to shake hands with our, or maybe elbow these days. Virtual high five with our getaways coordinator, so that she can, or he and she can elaborate a little bit on what classes and events we're going to be having going forward. Obviously, social distancing is important. So we're doing everything that we can to give you guys the best experience possible.
Yeah.
To kind of hit on the whole, the salespeople getting that incoming used boat sheet, I got to tell you, there is nothing that brings me more joy. I know you're looking for a used 270 Boston Whaler Vantage. They don't make them anymore. There is nothing more joyful to me when I see that sheet. 2017 27-foot Vantage coming on trade. I call you. It's better than Christmas. You know what I mean? We are looking. It's not like when you'll go into the, wherever someplace and say, yeah, look, put an ear to the ground. Look out for it, and we'll call you. We actually do. They will, and they'll let you know. So.
Rolling back up here to another question or two. We got Swesters. He's looking at a 38-foot with diesel and pod drives that have been in saltwater. Any issues with bringing it to freshwater? No. Have a survey done. That surveyor is going to go through and check everything, look at all the service records on the boat, make sure the oil's been changed, the fluid in the pods have been changed. But, when they haul it out, have them clean it thoroughly, probably give it a new bottom, and then get it up there to the freshwater lake or river that you're going on, and you're going to be fine. But for sure, make sure you have a thorough survey done and just have everything checked out so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, and MarineMax, we offer new and used vessels, but we also have a brokerage department, so that if for some reason, Mr. Swesters, if you are purchasing your vessel directly from a private owner, by utilizing one of MarineMax's brokers, we can basically, as the middle person, as the agent, we can help you schedule transport or secure the survey of the vessel or find a surveyor. So again, there isn't anything in the boating industry that we don't know how to do or offer. So just want to make mention of that as well.
Very good point. Looks like we got another question from Tim for you down there at the bottom, Keith.
Is Joystick worth the extra money? Absolutely. Not only do you get the ability to joystick dock a boat and maneuver and all that, but it's your auto heading, your autopilot, skyhook, everything that you're going to have to pay extra for if you don't have that joystick to be added on there. It's all integrated together. And it just makes docking just so simple. My 325 Conquest today, the guy's going from a 17-foot Montauk to that, and his girlfriend had never driven a boat before. They're out here buzzing around the docks, in and out of the slips, pulling it in, backing it in, going in forward, and everything with the joystick like they've been doing it, all their lives. So it makes it a lot easier.
I remember when I started at MarineMax, I'm like, hey, man, I'm a captain. I'm not going to use a joystick. I am way too cool to use a joystick. Now, man, I'll tell you what, I hop on a boat. First thing I do, right off the dock.
Me too. I drive boats with joysticks.
Yeah.
Or Zeus.
Looks like we got Joshua tuning in from I don't know, I'm assuming Tampa. I think I've met him before.
Hi, Joshua. Thanks for joining us.
I'm used to shopping for cars that have 60 to 72-month financing. Can you finance boats for longer? Good question.
Yes, very great question. It's similar to the question that was asked a little earlier, but we do have 10, 12, 15, or 20-year terms available. And again, most of our lenders don't have any prepayment penalties. And if for some reason you would like to finance your boat for a shorter term, 3 to 5 years, we're also able to help you with that as well.
So there you go, Joshua. Come on down to MarineMax and fill out that credit app.
Yeah, we also recently, you're now able to complete a credit application online.
Really?
So, you can navigate to marinemax.com and you can complete it there, and it will go to your local business office. Everything is very secured, safe. Or you can also contact your local business manager, and they're able to, if you prefer to complete everything electronically, we're able to offer you the credit application via DocuSign or fillable PDF, whatever's convenient.
I think you guys too, if I might be wrong, but I think you as business managers, your security systems and stuff like that on your computers are cranked up higher than everybody else just because of, of what you're dealing with. So people can be, feel safe and secure dealing with you.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, everything that is spoken about in our offices doesn't leave this office. So it's not only secure virtually, but it's also secure within the store level. Your privacy is very important to us, and it's basically my responsibility to keep that safe and obviously obtain it so that I'm able to secure financing options for you and nothing else.
Good stuff. Well, we go ahead, Keith.
I just say Tim missed her answer on the gap insurance question.
Oh, Tim, so at this time, MarineMax did in the past offer gap insurance, and at this time we're not offering it. However, stay tuned because there are some new and exciting offerings that we're going to be able to present to you guys in the near future.
And if you guys miss any of these answers today, I know a lot of you. I know a lot of you are working and stuff like that. You're busy. You can catch any of these episodes anywhere else. Whether it's you can catch them on Facebook on MarineMax Leisure Boating, catch them on YouTube too, obviously, and now we are on Spotify. And guilty, I did. You guys are laughing at. Yeah, I listened to one of our shows the other day.
Did you?
Repeat, I did. Yeah. If you guys are working out on a treadmill or you're riding that elliptical in the gym, what better way to do that than to turn it on for an hour, listen to us, and you might learn something too. I did. I watch my own walkthrough videos too. What are you gonna do?
You can dream about your future boat while you're working out.
Yeah.
Your mind is right. You're very welcome, Tim. Thank you.
All right, got time for one more question here. Looks like we got Mike Dickinson. Should I coat my boat in ceramic? Can I do it on new or used? Sorry if this was asked already. Good question, Mike.
So, Mike, thank you for joining us. One of the offers that MarineMax presents to our customers is called the Vantage Sealant Protection. It's a diamond ceramic. We like to describe it as like a very thin glass coating that is applied to the interior and exterior of the vessel. It protects it from a lot of things. And I love it because it just helps keep the integrity of the boat. It also helps with the maintenance of the vessel. And you are able to add it to your new vessel. So that's one of the perks of buying a new boat from MarineMax. There are some things that are only exclusive to our new boat owners. And all of the MarineMax, whether all the way up north to New York to South Florida in the Keys, we're able to offer that option for you, in addition to our extended protection and financing options and insurance as well. So again, we do everything for you.
Right. You wanna protect your new toy anyway.
Yeah, for sure, and we help you protect it as well. So great question. Well,
looks like we're coming up on an hour here. This has been an exceptional episode. Great questions. Great questions.
Bye.
YouTube and Facebook. So man, that is awesome. And Stephanie, thank you so much. This is a encyclopedia of the business office.
Thank you.
It was great for me to learn some stuff, and I'm sure everybody else did too. And of course, if it's a lot to take in, go back, watch it, give us a call, give your local business manager a call, and there's not many questions that they can't answer.
That's for sure. No, thank you guys for inviting me to your episode. I enjoy watching them every week, and I'm glad that you learn a little bit from my experiences and what I have to offer. And I also want to thank Captain Keith. He's a big influence in my boating life. So thank you very much for everything that you've taught me as well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Taught me a lot too. Back when I still had fur on my antlers. Well, Keith, what do you say, man? Maybe this weekend we'll get out and do some boating if the weather can only get better, huh?
Hey, man, Labor Day weekend's going to be a busy one.
It will.
3-day holiday weekend for everybody.
So we'll see you guys out there. Boat safe, boat, a lot of boats out there. It's a sober skipper. You want to hit
Yeah,
on
if you need any last minute items for your boat for this weekend, we also have local parts departments in every single one of our locations. So just give us a call and we'll get you out and boating safely on a very busy weekend coming up.
Yep.
So the sober skipper himself, Captain Keith Lake, why don't you want to sign us off?
Sure. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Hope everybody has a great, safe holiday Labor Day weekend. We're going to take next Monday off. I think there'll be a little bit of a best of. You'll be seeing some stuff come on that. Best of, I guess, we can already have best ofs after, 18 weeks of doing this or something?
I think we're on 19.
There'll be some sort of content out there. But thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
See you on the water.